Okay, for loose leash walking in week 2, we're going to try and move that treat up to our hip. So last week we had it right at the dog's nose. This week we're going to try and move that up to our hip. So we're going to introduce Kimmy and Bolto. Kimmy's demonstrating here. She's just reminding Bolto that that treat's in her hand, but that now it's up at her hip. So notice that Kimmy leaves off on her left foot when Bolto's ready. Gets him nice and close. And there's that nice loose lead. She's not using the lead to pull at all. The lead's just hanging loosely there in that J shape. So start by just allowing a couple of steps with that treat at your hip. 2, 3, and then reward. Kimmy makes Bolto work for it. He's got to stand right next to her before she'll start walking. It's quite an advanced dog. And then just slowly increase the length that you're making the dog walk next to you before you treat. So now she's just doing a few more steps and treating with that treat nice and close to her hip. Nice loose lead. Nice one. If you're still struggling with last week's exercise, a couple of things I did with Shirley was to just get her to get one step. If you can get her one step and then treat her, keeping that leash loose. So we did one step, always leading off on that left foot, because that's a sign to the dog that you want them to follow you. And once you've got one step, make sure you've got that focus. One step, you can increase it, 1, and then do a couple of steps. And notice I'm talking to Shirley. I'm saying, come on, come on. So we've got that verbal cue to her as well as the visual cue of my left foot. And I'm still using the treat quite close to her nose to keep her focused. There we go. 5 steps. So set them up for success. Another tip is to get them excited. Get a little bit of pep in your voice, a little bit of a silly step, so that they're excited to follow you, and eventually you can change that silly step into something a bit more normal. So in summary, we want to remind the dog that the treat's in our hand by putting it near their nose, but then holding it up at our hip. We can reward after just a couple of steps initially, and then slowly increase the amount of steps before you reward. Remember, you've got a nice loose lead. You're not using the lead to control the dog, you're using their attention and the treat. And you're talking to them along the way. Come on, let's go, come on.